everyone, I'm Katie Reedy. I am the UC Cooperative Extension Post-Fire Forest Stewardship Coordinator, and I am here today on a private forest landowner's property in Grizzly Flats, El Dorado County, California. This landscape burned in the 2021 Caldor fire, and it burned at high severity. You'll see in the distance the burned dead trees were removed, and there are no surviving trees to seed the land. On the other side of the road, there are surviving mature trees which contribute to natural regeneration. It is common to plant additional trees to help reforest your land. This parcel has been treated for a reforestation project. They removed all the dead fuel that you see out here. They site prepped by implementing herbicide to keep some of the competing vegetation down and allow these seedlings to have an opportunity to grow. The young trees here are a mixture of natural regeneration and planted seedlings. The tree density will have to be periodically managed over time. Consider walking around your property and noticing the distances between your trees, and think about that in the future. As I make observations on this property, I notice trees like this. This one is by itself and it has a lot of space to grow and mature. Same with this one. It has a lot of space to grow. It's not competing with any other trees. As I walk over here, I notice that these trees are very close to one another and are competing for space and resources. I may consider thinning these trees. The objectives on this property were to plant 220 trees per acre. One way to identify if you've met your objectives is to measure distance between trees. So 220 trees per acre, you should see about 14 feet apart, you should see trees. So if I were to put my tape into this tree and walk 14 feet in any direction of this tree, I will see that I have met my objectives. My concern is that if you look in between, there are these two trees here. In 10 to 12 years from now, these trees are going to compete for resources and space from one another, leading to an overcrowded forest. I may consider thinning now while the trees are less than my height versus when they're really tall and they're harder to manage. I've decided I want to thin some of these trees. These two trees are too close to each other. They're going to compete for resources. Therefore, I'm going to cut them. I have three options in my tool shed. I've got a small chainsaw, some loppers, and a handsaw. For me, the loppers are the least challenging thing to use. Okay, one more, and notice that this tree's diameter, any larger than this diameter tree would not work for my loppers. I would need a handsaw or a chainsaw if this tree gets any larger. So it's best to try to get the trees when they're small. After thinning, removed trees can be scattered if they are small, chipped or piled and burned.